I woke up today, started off. Good morning, Letitice here. Today is not my usual day because I'm not my usual self. I woke up a completely different motherfucking person. Completely motherfucking different person. You get what the hell I'm saying? Shocked the fuck out of myself. Okay, but I also woke up today to a goddamn stinging in my right eye, but not like stinging. It felt like I had like something in my eye, even though I did not. Then on top of that, it was another cat in my home eating food. Now, it was a cat I met probably like a week or so ago through his little hole that he goes through in and out. And I was like, hey, like if you see my son trying to come back home because he's been back all night and he needs to eat and drink something, he wound up coming back probably like 5 minutes later, 5, 10 minutes later. So the cat heard me. Um, but also today I woke up with such like a feeling of it, like my ancestors all around. Like I typically feel them, but today I knew and I know I went through a level up today or last night. It was literally late in the midnight hour. God's gonna turn it around. He's gonna work in your favor. Yeah, it's kind of that energy. That's how I felt. Like, and that's how I'm feeling still. And it's recently I've been telling people, telling myself to call on ancestral rage. Call on that rage, call on that power, alchemize it, use it because it is necessary. It is a necessity to call on that, to make sure that I do what it do. But even today, it just shifted me so much. Shifted me so much. We're in the year of oil, which is that just that revolution, that change, the fight, the divine feminine. And so when I took this in this morning, I said, okay, pizza. So when I took that in this morning, I said, okay, all right, that's how we going. That's how we move. Ooh, I had a lot more than I thought. Uh, but when I took this in, I said, oh yeah, I woke up changed and different and shifted and such a means and a mode. Like I literally rose with the sun, was not expecting to, and honestly, more recently, I've been actually setting and sticking to my fucking bedtime to a point of no return. Okay, but the time that I've been waking up has been all over the place. Like, and I actually have an alarm to actually wake up. You know, setting up my little 8 hours, but I still have not been sticking to that because my body's like, get up, get up, get up, get up, go, get up, get up, get up, get up, get up. And so I've been getting the fuck up and starting my day and doing what I need and all that stuff. And today just keeps happening. And I know I'm leveling up because I keep waking up earlier and earlier, or I wake up with like the sun and the energy of that. And today I woke up with that sting in my eye and a cat eating my son's food. I said, hold on now, what's going on? There's a shift. And then also today, Spirit told me, they said, don't go outside today. Don't go outside today. Stay in. We need you in for today. And I was like, okay, all right. Um, I can do that. I can work with that. And even on top of waking up, the song that kept playing in my head is "Evil Eye" by Bella. Um, and it just kept ringing and ringing in my head. And I was like, okay, let me go ahead and play it, listen to it, and see what's going on. And I'm like, okay. But when they told me to stay inside, I was like, the park is there. The park is outdoors. The swing side, kind of that energy. But they was like, this is not to scare you. This is not to bring that fear or anything. This is because today is on day of mourning. And like I said, I woke up a new person. I'm literally mourning my old self right now. And it's a jubilation time. It's a happy time for sure. And I'm feeling that it is a very much happy time for sure. And so with the death, I literally feel like a completely different new energy, completely different new time line, I guess we can say. Just everything has really shifted for me in such a way I was not expecting at this time. And so I'm coming on here because I wanted to share with you guys to let you know, like, yes, I'm a tarot reader, and yes, those things I can, but I don't know everything. I don't understand anything, and I can barely, I'm not here to predict the future. I said, oh, I'm not here to predict the future. I'm here to predict the energy and where you are now, what's happening now, what's going on now. That's a real nice little small one. And what's going on now, what's happening now, what's shifting and moving me and everything now. So with this day of mourning, I really truly feel like it is a mourning of the old me, the way that I have been moving with my life within these past few months has been such a completely different, rejuvenated energy in a way that I was not expecting for myself. Like, I knew what I wanted for myself in my energy, in my environment, in my home, in my life, in my career, and everything. But the fact that I feel that now and I haven't even met some of the goals that I set out for myself, I'm just like, hold on. Is this real? And I feel like literally late in the midnight hour, turned it around, shifted it, made it anew. And so when they told me to stay inside, it was like, you are mourning your old self. It's not a day of like, it's a happy morning. It's a good morning energy. And actually, I feel that so strongly. And I want to come here and share that with you guys because I'm growing with you guys. We're growing together. It is a collective growth. It is a unity growth. I'm learning, I'm shifting, I'm changing. And it is a dynamic I'm becoming more comfortable with, more sure of self with. And so when I woke up today, I said, today, I woke up, I'm like, damn, what time is it? What fucking time is it? 5? Okay, it's 5. Okay, what's going on right now back then? I heard it. And then even when I came out here for the cat, like I said, it was a cat that came in. The food's right here, the doors. And there's a little hole, and it's like a little back door for you before you actually come into the actual home. And this little hole there, a little kitty hole. And so I felt this thing in my mind because I was trying to roll back over and go to sleep. I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes I do that. Again, the learning process. Sometimes I do that where I'm just like, I'm gonna roll over. I need to go back to bed. I need to, maybe it's not real. And the spirit will be like, hey, it is. Wake your ass up. Wake the fuck up. So you been feeling that lately too? Sometimes it's hard for me to feel that urge to be like, okay, look, I didn't even feel like recording my dream today. Like, oh, okay, all right. But it was very significant for the change, the shift. So I felt this thinging in my eye, and I was like, okay, maybe it's an eyelash. Maybe it's something going on. Like, what the hell is going on? Because it ain't even just going away. And now I'm trying to go back to sleep, and I can't go back to sleep, and the Evil Eye song is playing. I'm just like, okay, and when I got up, came out my door, but then I heard like little pitter patters of walking away. Like cat feet. And I was confused. I'm like, what if you wouldn't stop eating because I came out? And that's when I seen I peek around the corner from my door, and like peek around the corner. From the hallway. I'm like, and it's an orange and white cat staring at me. And I said, that's that cat. And then it just scurries off through to the back door, the cat hole. I'm just like, okay, I was like, what the fuck? What the actual? And I don't mind. So not again, I try to feed the cats. I try to put it away from my home so that way they don't know where it comes from, but just to still to feed them and things of that sort. But it came inside, and that's the cat that I met a little while ago. And I was like, okay, see where y'all got me up. And then since then, I'm just getting a lot of ancestor messages and readings. And even when I went to go wake them up this morning, You know, it was just good morning, very slow. So just being able to take that in, I'm just like, I need to share this with the collective because I'm growing and changing too. Y'all been with me in some times where I told y'all I lost my power, didn't have no hot water. Y'all been in times when I told y'all, you know, this is happening. I'm creating a brunch. Y'all been at me at times, and I'm just like, I'm so happy. I'm elated. I got this. You guys are with me in all steps because we are growing together, and I want to share that change. You guys probably recognize and notice it or peeped it. It's that sense of being feeling new in life and new in a sense. And I know it's changing for the collective too. Because like I've been saying, in my dreams is we getting crowded, crowded, baby, crowded. And I've been like, okay, a lot more people are becoming aware, a lot more people are becoming awake. And a lot of people feel like 2020 was a big shift for a lot of people spiritually, you know, whether you were on that path or beforehand or not, but it was a big shift for a lot of people. But even then, for me, I don't feel like a lot of people were tapped into. It's kind of like the delusional dream part of things. Is the traveling between realms energy. And I feel like that's really what we're tapping into now, especially with this being the year of Jupiter, the year of nine, the year of expansion and reaching out there so vast and far and taking that in. Like I'm feeling the energy I've never experienced before. And this happens with each growth, each change, each shadow work, each push, you know? Because sometimes I get in here and I just be feeling like, man, I do not feel like doing it. And then the message sometimes resonate. I'm like, damn, that message resonated with me. I'm glad I did it. Not just for the collective, but for me. Or sometimes I get off of here and I still got to deal with like problems like everybody else. And then you're like, okay, I got to figure out how to pay this. Let me put it a little bit better. Let me figure, you know? Mm. When I'm taking it in, I'm realizing I have to share. As a tarot reader, yes, it's all those things, but I have to share and let y'all know. Y'all not alone. When you come on here possibly seeking answers, understanding, I do the same. That's why I share. But the same way that you're like, okay, I don't know what's really going on. Sometimes I don't know what the fuck is going on either. It allows you to feel like a true human because you are a true human being. You are. You're living this human experience on this earth. And so to feel earthly things, earthly feelings, earthly experiences, gather earthly, all that, it's currently a part of life. And it's been such a shift, such a change, a revelation of sorts. And being able to really truly take to this. So I didn't want to take up too much of y'all time. I just really wanted to share like there is a shift, a growth happening. You know, and I'm not saying everything about my life is healed and better, but maybe it's getting there. It's a lot better than it was. It's a lot better than it could be. And it's going to continue to get better because I'm saying it is and actively doing what it needs to do. This keeps going on, and I ain't going to play with it. It wants to play games, not to play games. But kind of wraps it up anyway. Allowing that, no. Let's see if we can get one card message. You stayed this long. Let's see if we can get one card message. See what's happening in this world. See what is going on. I said one card message, but I pulled out two decks. I love it. So I like sharing these things too. Not just, when I'm having moments or I want to share everything. This is a journey. If I'm on a journey, in and out of what I do, sometimes it's good to share people that are a part of that journey. This has been coming out consistently. And I gotta put my cards in the sun today too. So you been feeling that? If you've been feeling a spiritual calling to do something, you ain't always gotta check Google. I'm telling you that now. Yes, we all know about writing on the bay leaves and burning them. Yes, you know. But if you feel something like, I know this all sounds crazy, but I add cinnamon to my eggs. But every time I do that, like something happens where I just get an extra. But it can be something as simple as that, and you're not even realizing that the sulfuric acid, sulfuric of that, whether you're using the black salt for tofu, the vegan egg, or you're using the actual egg, it's that combination with the cinnamon, the romance, and bringing that in harmony. It's like, shit, I didn't even realize I was doing that. I'm feeling that for everybody as well. It's just like I'm feeling spiritually inclined and called to do this more. I don't know why I said that. That just came out of my mouth. And somebody's like, no, I'm glad you did. Or you just feel like, but it makes sense. It's when you truly feel spiritually inclined to do things, follow it. Follow it. Because sometimes I would do stuff, I would be like, you know what? I'm going to do it. I don't know, but I'm going to do it. And then afterwards, I'm like, that led to that? I was not expecting. Okay. And it just really opens the door because you're not only following your intuition, you're opening connection to receive messages. You're opening connections to allow such a sense of creativity, wonder, excitement, recognizing that no many times that you reincarnated, you feel that way, or past life, or no many times as you went through a cycle, and many times how long you've been here, whatever it is, whatever it is, it's an understanding like, shit, ain't nothing new under the sun but how it's done, but I ain't even experienced everything that is to happen, be seen, heard, loved under the sun. So why? Why am I? I'm just follow it. It feels right. It feels like I should have been always doing this. And that is, again, that alleviation moment. I know how I like to eat my cereal with a fork. Even things that, like, it sounds crazy, but it's just like, I know I might want a second bowl. And if I eat it with a spoon, I'm picking up so much of the milk. And plus, I like my cereal to get soggy, so it kind of works out because I can just leave it in there. And I ain't got to wait. So it just like it works for me. Plus, I can get that second bowl. I ain't got to pour more milk. And I'm not getting the back. It's really just things that seem so small make up so much. Think about something as small as, okay, if I pick up my clothes the night before, I'll get extra sleep in the morning. It's something as small as changing that allows your whole entire day to change. With that extra maybe 10 to 15 minutes, 20 minutes that you would spend picking out clothes, you maybe probably get like an extra 10 minutes of sleep, and then you can do your makeup if you wanted to, or get in that workout or in that journaling that you wanted to. Because now you're not spending time contemplating it. And if you need to switch it up, at least you have a blueprint of what it is. Like, okay, this is kind of how I was feeling. I see where I was going, but what if I switch it up with that? And it gives you a little bit more, but if you're somebody who's just indecisive, like somebody like me, actually that does help. I like picking up my clothes the night beforehand. Or, I pick it up while the shower running so I can put it in my head like, hey, the shower's running. Okay, we ain't gonna waste no hot water around here. Pulling out some more cards from a different deck. Ooh. And then I'll get into the reading. Because again, thank you for sticking around. Okay. Start small. It changes your whole day. Not only do you possibly get the extra sleep, it's like, man, got the extra sleep in. I got to finally, you know, get that parking spot I wanted, whatever it is. It's the small things throughout the day that get you, that truly get you to where you want to be. It's the small, simple things. It's those everyday little mundane tasks. The shit, if you don't tie your shoes and you put them on, you're going to be tripping all day. Okay. Ooh. I'm trying to miss it. I should put that right there. Sometimes you just gotta go with the feeling. There we go. I'm laying it all out for you. That's funny because I started to smoke. Okay. So I'm gonna pick up the camera, show you where everything is. I am still gonna pick up the cards as I talk, but I'm gonna pick up the camera so you guys can kind of see what it looks like. But first, I need some water. It's coming out. Okay. So here are the cards. There is no way to actually like flip my camera, so sorry about that. But this is how the cards are faced. This is from left to right, okay? It may be upside down, so flip your perspective. But no, seriously, let's go ahead and get into this reading for you guys. We have witch, metaverse, and nature spirits. Like I said, I feel like people are going through different realms and dimensions. Like I said, it's a lot more people in them dreams. Okay? Shifting, changing, gliding, like, okay, comfy. But again, it's that realizing that interconnectedness with nature, with the world, with those things and how you interact with it each and every day leads to you being somebody that can change things, create things, different worlds. Oh, I'm so every time I think about that, it upsets me. Different worlds, different ideas, different cultivations and creations, literally bubbling in the pot and allowing that to be there for you. So, with those nature spirits being able to really pull into that, you become a witch, you become an alchemist, you become a creator, you become someone that is able to see beyond what it is. Like we're literally living off of something that doesn't need the same food that we need, but we need it as a sense of survival, and it's trees. But it can survive, off of those. So we even live with animals that don't need the same things that we need, but it's there. Even a baby growing up cannot even have straight water. And that's something that we need later on in life. So it's these things of recognizing how even in stages of our life with time or ages it progresses with all this information, it allows you to recognize we're all truly growing. We're all, because depending on where a tree grows, it can have too much sun and not truly be able to blossom and actually create the leaves, the canopy that gives it the shade, But it also allows its roots to be planted elsewhere to give nourishment to something else, to feed to it as well. So it's never lost. So remember that. Where are your roots being planted? And if you have, I'm hearing like a dead tree in your forest in the way that you think and feel or act or experiences, I'm hearing slowly start that as well. We have karmic path and Omo family. So, and we're you need to starve the family of you in a way or change. This is more so about changing the way that you think and feel about family. Yes, they are always there and surrounding you, right? Because you can see them in the background. But it's you essentially and your current present self in the moment. So not being so weighed down by family thoughts and opinions while still also allowing them to be themselves as well, allowing that freedom and sense of being who they are. Not saying you gotta fuck with it, not saying you have to be around it, but just accepting like this is it. Truly accepting it, whether you like it or not, like you respect it or not, whether it's more like I have to accept you where you are presently because that's it. That's as far as it's going to go right now in this moment or where it was. Even if people were a certain way in their past, it's like, okay, I have to accept what you were because you obviously can't grow to something more. So, with this karmic path and this family coming right next to each other, you don't need to take on the karmic cycle, the same patterns in order to heal them. You just don't. You just don't at all. It's like me feeling like, oh, I gotta have kids so I can raise them in a way that isn't trauma filled or abusive because that's how I was raised. It's just like, but how do you know that? How do you know that that's what that's going to be? Start healing your own trauma first. Start healing your own hurt first, and then also help you to heal theirs. Like I said, I woke up this morning, just the answer has been around. So, no, may not work with all of them, and don't even mean all of them want to work with me. It's a collaboration. So again, even living or dead is just like recognition of like, not all of them have the answers. Not all of them were who you should be talking to, present or not. So you don't need to take on something. You know, it's like somebody, I got to take on a family business, but I really want to do this. Think about the situation fully. Think about it. Because sometimes it does turn into people being like, I actually really do love it. Like, I really do enjoy it. But talk with your family is like, if I can't express myself to live a certain way and do this, like, what expectations are you having on me as a person and who I am and not just the family? Okay. So recognize that, especially since you've been working a lot more with nature, you're recognizing that trees grow next to flowers, next to bushes, next to cheetahs, next to water, next to, but like it grows almost everywhere. Water flows. It can be solid. It can be falling. It can be dry and burn. It can be a lot of things. Things shift in so many ways, which leads to Osupa, which is vision, with the air card. Like I said, you are getting a lot more insight. Osapa is the vision is not just about dreams. It's those fantasies, those daydreams. It's those thoughts that come in like, Again, those feelings like, I feel like just, I'm gonna add a little bit of rosemary to my coffee today. I don't know why, I'm just feeling it. It's following those instincts, that logic, that communication that you're getting, being able to receive that heart space, being fully open to not only accept who you are with the witch and nature spirits, but also being able to accept, heal, and let go of who other people are with the family and the karmic path as well. That is the true, okay, I'm able to see from an elevated space, a flipping of the perspective, a different mindset to truly allow an array of visions and balances to come into life that are still intertwined yet separate beings, separate modes, separate ways of being. Ooh, look at little oranges and lemons at the bottom, so offerings could be significant. Offerings could be significant. Thank you, Spirit. But just again, allowing that because right under that card, we have the new life card. Okay? Being able to allow things to come in truly, like I said, receiving. Are you on the receiving end of your blessings? That's a question. Are you on the receiving end of your blessings? Yes, you are. Because with this, we have two cards laying on top. As you guys seen, we have the Durolia. I believe I'm saying that correctly. I hope so. Duroila. with compassion, and Ajuro Sensen with tradition. And the compassion was laying on the shift in the shadows we seen, and the tradition was laying on the shadow and the power. So taking that into recognition of a lot of things. So we're gonna pull up the compassion card with the shift in shadow. So shadow. Shadow work is needed to shift, but you have to do it with compassion. I feel like that was kind of self-salesman, but just to break it down in a little bit fun way. Yeah. But that shadow work is needed for a true shift, for a true change. But you have to be compassionate with yourself. I remember I was talking to somebody, it was my brother, I believe, and he was like, he was saying something. I was like, so you gonna shame yourself into getting up, or you gonna love yourself into getting up? You know, because I'm like, that's what I got to do to myself. Like, am I gonna do this into getting started, or am I gonna love myself? Am I gonna care about myself? Am I gonna do it in a way that's talking to me like someone that wants to be seen and heard, someone that wants to be nurtured and taken care of? Someone that wants to be protected and adored, someone that wants stability? Or am I treating myself like someone that is going out of fear, out of worry, out of what has always been, out of where am I operating out of? I need to operate out of compassion for myself, to the point that things can come in and not bother me. Like they literally have plants and things growing on them, but they are so unbothered because they're recognizing that they are one with this growth, that they are still shifting, they are still also changing. Their hair is probably grown. It has been such a change by them just going so inside of self at a sense of peace, not being upset, angry. And again, not to say not to use your rage, because like I said, use that motherfucking rage. I'm sorry, use it. Use the motherfucking rage. I say it all. Use that rage. That is power. That is source. That is coming from a sense of what the fuck and why the fuck, and we need to change it. Going into that shadow work, okay, of like, let me look at myself. And not gonna say it's gonna make it any easier, any better, but it can be in a sense of like, okay, but if I already know that, I'm not gonna go in treating myself away. So that way, also when something happens where it triggers me, hurts me, where I have to take accountability, where I have to take true reflection, true guidance, when I actually have to start moving and put it in action, and every now and again I kind of slip back, but I have to push myself. How am I going to do that? Because I can be a witch working with the metaverse, different spirits, different realms, different feelings, the nature spirits, removing and releasing family karmic paths in a compassionate way that shows new life, new vision, new creation. Right? Which leads to the shadow and the power card with the tradition. Click their hand. It's open to be able to receive an understanding that's not focusing quite well. But it's that blossom, and they literally have a rose quartz at the top of their head. It's their ponytail. With the weed coming out, with the shadow figures, okay, people around them, it is that calming essence of recognizing that, yes, while I embrace traditions, I can create my own. And that's also where power comes from, especially with the fact that they're being right under the family card, creating your own traditions, setting forth a new path of releasing and doing that shadow work, and recognizing that there's power in really truly diving into self. There's so much happening for you. And it's creating such a life of abundance and treasure and values that really make you feel stead strong. Okay? You are creating a new tradition that is upholding so much. And I love, this is my favorite card, one of my favorite one of my favorite cards, like the way that this is just drawn down to the tongue. Just the longness of it. of allowing words to be spoken so thoroughly. It's almost like a serpent changing, shedding its skin. Oh, I love it. The last two cards that we have for you are Crystal Technology Silicone, and there's a little child inside, held in the hands of somebody that also has purple nail polish on, because this person has purple nail polish on, starting and ending with you. And then Spirit Act. Okay, and I will say if there's any affirmations or anything involving these cards, I will put them in the description below. But I just really wanted to get into the reading. Um, so with this crystal technology, silicone is about working with crystals essentially. You know, allowing that to be a healing vibration, speaking into that. And people forget that crystals is, yes, it is stones and rocks, but so is salt. So going back to that wish, that metaverse philosophy, what you do, creating, putting salt at your door, when you salt your food, saying something over it, creating that. That is also why people use salt on their altars, to create that, but communicating with them, getting in touch with self, removing the falseness, removing the facade. And again, that pink is coming out, that love of being able to hold yourself, your inner child, a place for you to truly feel stable. With the Spirit and Act, it's a doing mechanism that you are doing now. Like I said, people are shifting, changing. You are one of them. It's this action that you are putting forth into your life that's like, yeah, I need to create a new tradition, and doing it with compassion. And I need to create something of substance, right? Like I said, even if you stayed this long, just being willing to listen to other people in their life and experiences, and being able to see the growth in them allows to see the growth in you. You know, so allowing that to really truly sit with and of self is a true vibration of power, of breaking and working with the karmic path to create something new. And not bum rushing into what may or may not be, because you're working something powerful here. All those colors, the vibrancy, rainbows could also be significant, because there's also even like kind of shades of that blue, purple, pink, very variations of that as well. A lot of purple coming up here for you. So that crown chakra, that I know chakra. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm. So I do thank you guys for sticking around. I do thank you for listening in the beginning. I do thank you for you being you. And this has been your reading. You are a witch. You're a witch! Ah, this guy just stared at me before I will take it. We got soulmate coming in here. This is also, with this card, I love that they specify it's not just romantic soulmate, which can feel limiting, but it's soulmate of friendship. But for me, it's also soulmate of your career, soulmate of where you want to live, your environment, soulmate of how you're able to really feel intertwined with someone in something, in an experience. Some people like that destination, like that, that's like my soulmate. That's when I go there, I feel just how I feel when I'm talking to you. It's like that. It's a non-limitation of what true love and what your soul can receive and take in, especially with the vision and new life card. It is a new perspective, a new height, and a new way of thinking, right? So taking that in. Oh my God, just like her tongue. Just like her tongue. Transmute. So take that in. Okay, I can go all day on later. But until next time, and I will see you guys later, most likely. So yeah.